This is the Mobile Home Park Lawyer Podcast with Fred Niemann. If you're looking to generate wealth and passive income in the lucrative world of mobile home parks, you're in the right place. You'll discover solutions to the common legal and operational pitfalls and how to optimize parks to maximize income. Your host is in the trenches. He's a real estate attorney, financial analyst, and mobile home park investor and operator. Now, let's turn it over to Fred Niemann.
Welcome back, Mobile Home Park Nation. Fred Niemann here again today with another episode of the Mobile Home Park Lawyer Podcast. Today I was going to cover 40 or so items that you need to take a look at when you do a site visit. This is particularly important when you are looking to acquire a park, so your first site visit. And I still look at every park before we buy them myself, but I don't always go the first time. I don't always go by myself. So I put together just a quick bullet point list so that others on the team can do some recon in advance of me. And then if they tell me it's a bad site, then I don't even go look at it sometimes. But if we're going to buy it, then I'll go look at it and double check, and they'll put together a nice written due diligence report, pictures and data and all that, so that I feel like I've already been there, a GoPro video. But I'm just going to rattle through some things that I kind of get my eyes on before I walk the site. And I say walk the site because I like to walk the site in addition to drive the site. First is purchase price. I just want to know what I'm paying for this so I can kind of get a feel for it. And then what are the current rents, the market rents. And then that just kind of gets me a feel for like, okay, what am I expecting? But then I really started looking at the property. I look for overhead wires. This can impact the ability to infill. Where are the wires located? Are they low? Are they over the middle lots? And then I also can kind of tell what's the ampage. I'll look at the pedestals for that. That's another look at the electric pedestal amps. Normal's 100. You see some with 50. 200 is ideal. But I'll take a look at the amps. I take a look at the size of the homes just in general. You get pretty good at estimating the size once you've seen it a lot. And then same with age of the homes. Generally you can tell by the roof line what the age of the home is. If it's pre-HUD, post-HUD, and then, when's it got metal roof, metal siding, then eventually they had metal siding, and they had more of a shingle roof, and then shingle and vinyl. Now I'm seeing some like wood-style siding that's coming back on new homes, but typically the pitched roof will give you an idea of its age. The condition of the homes, just generally, if people don't take care of their homes, that's a problem. I also look at the condition of their vehicles, because the quality of vehicles, if there's really nice cars, typically people either, one, take care of their cars, two, have some money, three, have some credit, which will impact your infill and home sales. I look for RVs. This impacts potential transiency or risk of sticky tenants. It also can impact your financing if there's several, and then sometimes the zoning doesn't allow for RVs. I count the vacant lots, I measure the vacant lots, I look at the current setbacks and kind of get a feel for what the setbacks could reasonably be. I evaluate the road condition and type, the utilities, the type utilities, and if it's the sewer, septic, water, I'll take a look, see if I can identify the type, look at the clean out, see if there's shut-off valves. I talk to residents. Sometimes the seller doesn't want you to do this, so you got to play nice, but residents will generally tell you some stuff about the property that you otherwise wouldn't know. I evaluate current signage. I look and see if there's any room for a billboard or excess ground for some sort of other revenue opportunity. I take a general assessment of the access to the premises and the location. I drive the market, see, is it a good market? Are there hospitals or strong industry or government jobs, county seat, those sort of things. I'll drive the market for other parks. And I'll look at the general layout of the park, because that generally gives you a feel for the desirability and or potentially the quality it was built. A lot of the older HUD parks have really cool layout or design, and typically those are going to have your off-street parking, kind of curbs, asphalt or concrete roads, some sort of common area building that used to be a laundromat or clubhouse. It has often an ancillary or secondary use. I try to get a feel for the number of dogs or children I see. That might tell me the risk of dog bites, or tell me if there's a lot of kids. Does this park need a playground? I'll look and see if there is a playground. I generally look and see if there's pride of homeownership or pride of ownership. I try to assess the park-owned home and tenant-owned home counts and locations, and whether they're single wides, double wides. I look at the trash. Is it polycart? or is it a dumpster? We typically don't like dumpsters much because it beats up the roads. If they do a dumpster, it's in the front of the park. Does it look decent? Is it in a dumpster carousel, or is it an eyesore? I'll try to assess sometimes if I think there's a single internet provider, or look at the type of internet, which is not as big a deal, but you can sometimes tell based on the risers coming out of the ground. I evaluate the common area and the amenities, and I look at boundaries. It'd be ideal if I had a survey with me, typically an Alta survey or better. It's not always the case for the first visit because surveys are expensive, right? I look at the trees. Are there lots of trees? That's going to impact my sewer cleanout bill, and especially if I have like clay lines or Orangeburg lines, that's going to be more of a problem. I also look at trees for safety. I look at just safety items in general, like is there sufficient lighting? Is there any? I went to a park recently. The road was washed out horribly in several spots, like major trip hazard. I'll see if there's an office, a shop, or other equipment, and I'll evaluate that. Get a feel for any sheds, or are there good mailboxes, storage, etc. I'll look at the general topography, see if there are any just earth issues, which really impacts rainwater runoff, stormwater, and then to some degree, I've got parks that are super flat, and it's kind of a problem bringing new homes because when you put the home up on a new HUD set and crown it, and it's elevated, well, the water is going to like roll to the side. Well, if both houses do that, then you just have like puddles in the middle. So super flat is not ideal, but steep is also not ideal because you got to spend a lot of money on skirting, more on installation, and some of the homes just don't look as good. And if you've got 6 or 8 feet of skirting on one side, it's really tough to keep that skirting in place with wind and just with other weather and shifting. And so you want almost flat, but not completely flat. Generally, I like to take pictures and or video, and then I'll estimate kind of my rough CapEx for day one. I'll identify, where am I need signage and how many different entrances and exits? Do I need white picket fences and rose bushes? Do I need playgrounds? Do I need a dog park? Do I need a picnic area? How many trees need to come down? How rough are the roads? Some of the things I've already mentioned in your checklist, I just kind of start to put a number with that, and there's just something to be said for being on the boots on the ground. And just kind of having your head on a swivel as okay, what is going to be coming at me later? And then just try to get a better handle on it. But that's a quick rough and dirty, 40 or so items that I do when I go out on the property. And over time it becomes kind of innate where you say, okay, you just look for this stuff. But always have a site map, always have a pen and paper ready, and just take notes. And then report back to team, report back to whoever's doing the budget, whoever's doing insurance, whoever's doing CapEx, doing ordering, and go from there. So, till next time, thanks and God bless.
You've been listening to the Mobile Home Park Lawyer Podcast with Fred Niemann. Ready to learn more? Go to www.themobilehomelawyer.com for free resources and materials to help you succeed. If you love the podcast, go to Apple Podcasts, give us your review, and subscribe today. Thank you for listening. Neither the Supreme Court of Missouri nor the Missouri Bar reviews nor approves certifying organizations or specialist designations. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.